listening to WWSU 106.9 FM, Fairborn Dayton, Dayton's right choice.
We're all working men around here.
WWSU 106.9.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at WWSU 1069. Or to listen live and request your favorite songs, go to WWSU1069.org.
Every day, men and women from communities across this nation serve as Reserve Citizen Airmen.
I am proud to defend our nation.
Proud to be part of a team that helps make a difference.
I am proud to be part of something larger than me and to serve my country.
We celebrate those who have served and those who are proudly serving in the Air Force Reserve. Our mission is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace.
I am proud to be a member. I am proud to protect our...
Proud to serve in the U.S. Air Force Reserve.
You are now listening to WWSU 106.9 FM, Fairborn Dayton, Dayton's right choice, or you can catch us online at WWSU1069.org.
Blue, you're my boy!
All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is WWSU 106.9 with Mic Check. My name is Jedd, the Ratking Rismiller, and I am joined here today by Garyn. Now, before we go ahead and kick things off, I have to say that the views and opinions of Mic Check are those of the author, and this content of the program has not been reviewed nor endorsed by WWSU 106.9 FM or Wright State University. I started talking fast, had to take a breath in there. All right.
Had to get that disclaimer in.
I know. Had to get that in, make sure they don't yell at us. The FCC doesn't get mad at us.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Garyn's mom. So, Garyn, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself and just kick things off.
Okay, yeah. Hey, everyone listening. My name is Garyn Kidd. I am a videographer, born and raised Ohioan. Go Bucks. I have been in the creative space for well over 7 years now. When I graduated Springfield High School, I've made music videos. I've had the pleasure of shooting content for conventions. And right now I'm trying to tackle one of the greatest feats, and that's become a live entertainment organizer in a way.
Yeah, and on the topic of live entertainment, what is this event that you have coming up? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so April 26th, I am hosting my third show after a 2-year hiatus, and it's called Catch a Vibe, Art and Live Music. It's going to be held at the Springfield Masonic Center, April 26th. Tickets are on sale right now at eventbrite.com. Get them early, so then that way you not only save money, but you get a custom lanyard. Those are made by these hands right here, and I enjoy making them for you guys. And you save money, you get free merch, and we love freebies. So I hope to see you there. It's going to be 5 musical acts, some upcoming great talent, art exposition from Artist Alley, and you're going to have vendors there too. So it's just a great place to network and meet.
Yeah, fantastic. And I've seen some of those artists that you have performing. I've heard some of them perform in the Dayton area. They are something. I really enjoy a lot of the ones that I've seen. So let's start off with a little bit about you. 7 years as a videographer. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you get started, and what kind of inspired you to look into that kind of field?
Yeah, I would say it all starts back at a childhood kind of way. It goes back with my mother. My mother being Ginger. She's probably not going to like that I said her name, but I want people to know who my mother is because she's amazing and she raised a great man. My mom would take me to the theater a lot when we were younger. It was kind of like what you do. And we would go to the theater Wednesdays and Fridays, and I would always watch movies when I was at the house. I was always saving up money to go buy VHSs at a store right up by our apartment named Video Outlet that's now called Game Cycle. And that kind of inspired me to want to just shoot videos in general. And so what had happened was this, shout out to Susan Tyner, my photography teacher. The bug kind of bit me around 2016, 2017 when I started doing photos and videos. And I would do short short videos and short films for my high school. We had a film competition. I won some awards. People tell me kept going. I went to college for it at Wright State University in 2017. Ended up leaving school. Couldn't afford it, unfortunately. Got a full-time job. I got my first major store credit card. I financed gear. I then went and sought clients for little to no money so that way I can pay back the gear. Kind of rinse and repeated. Started shooting weddings in early 2018, 2019. Started traveling to places like Atlanta to shoot music videos with another host that used to be on this radio station. Shout out DJ Marky G. He gave me opportunities just before almost anyone. And what spiraled into shooting home videos and birthdays and weddings and music videos before you know it went corporate to where then in late 21 and 2020, shout out to my boy Sam Media. He invited me out and I shot for Good Morning America, Nashville during a Dolly Parton segment. I did the drone work for that and my footage was aired on live national television. And then from there, working at my day job at Best Buy, I ended up becoming a Best Buy brand ambassador. So I actually shot content for the corporation of Best Buy. Yeah, I would make commercials for them. With all that being said, you know, I've done so much video work. I've kind of gotten bored. Yeah. The market is kind of saturated with videographers. And now I'm ready to become event organizer and try to give back to a community of creatives using my insights, my experience, and yeah, that's where we're at with videography.
And with that, so just with videography, was the goal to always kind of go into music videos, that kind of combination of music and video, or were you wanting to do more of like a film style of things?
I definitely wanted to do film. I think every videographer, when they're starting out, they want to do film. It's just that film is really hard because they start to realize, I need this camera, I need this certain amount of gear, I need this money, I need lighting. There's a lot of need, and you're hungry for success, but you start to look at your wallet and you're like, okay, I don't have enough resources in here. I have to go build the resources. So instead of trying to make, films, I figured, what is something that people are wanting? They want music videos. These artists, they feel as though they want to be seen, they want to be heard. They don't have these $1,000 budgets. Let me go and shoot music videos for them for about, $350 to $400. You do 5 of those. That's $1,500. Before you know it, you're like, being 18, 19 years old and shooting 2 to 3 music videos a month. That starts to make you feel really good inside. That absolutely. People want your work. And then in some way, it is visual storytelling. You basically are taking the lyrics and you're creating a narrative with it.
That's cool. And so watching those movies as a kid, did you have one that you remember, like, kind of did it, like set that fire inside of you?
Yes, it's 2 films, and they're completely opposite of each other. It is Grease and Scarface.
Really?
Yeah, those 2 films.
Those are complete opposites.
Reason why Grease is because I love how the dancing and the music and everything just kind of coexists. Plus, I'm a sucker for the 50s. I think the 50s was a great era, and the way people dressed, the way women wore their hair and whatnot. I love everything about the 50s. And then Scarface, ultimately, because I love that story of a refugee that wants better. Now, granted, the way he went about it wasn't the right way, and it glorifies some themes and whatnot. But overall, when you pull the themes out of it, you basically just look at a man who escapes his situation. He wants better for his life. He achieves it. He wants the girl. He gets the girl. He wants the money. He gets the money. And then eventually he realizes that all of that is his downfall. Mm-hmm. And so it's really a caution tale. Scarface is a caution tale, and that's why I like it so much.
I get that. That's really cool. So now moving more into live events, more things like that, what term would you use to describe yourself?
Curator.
Curator.
I would use curator because anytime you see something as of right now, whether that's a flyer, an opportunity being made, or 2 people coming together, that primarily has to do with me in a way. I hate to be that guy, but like, I'm the person that's that's weaving the fabrics in time right now. I'm putting 2 and 2 together to make it work. So I would say I'm a curator. I don't want to be known as a promoter because I'm not promoting a show.
Yeah.
I am promoting it to some extent, yes, but I'm not promoting it because I'm not a club promoter, not a venue promoter, not an artist promoter. I'm a curator of events and bringing people together for, networking, creativity, and inspiration.
And I respect that. That's a hard thing to do. It is not I feel like especially events, like from the outside looking in, they seem like something that just like pretty easily come together. But when you actually sit down and do it, you're like, man, this is rougher than I thought.
Yeah.
So, with this kind of dream of curatorship, what is the end goal? Where do you want to see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I hope to have a family and be well established to where it's a self-running engine.
Yeah.
That, I created an embodiment of inspiration, creativity to, leave, so that way I can kind of, spend time with my family.
Sure.
There's nothing wrong with chasing your dreams. I just want to put that disclaimer out there.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be a person who's chasing their dreams. Meanwhile, I have brought life into this world. I want to be able to, have brought, settle down, get married, knowing that, I've fulfilled everything that I was put here to do. And meanwhile, I can enjoy the fruits of my labor just so then that way when my child becomes more aware and, self-sufficient on their own, I can then go back to work. But I want to be there and present for my child's life and enjoying what I've created and watching other people thrive inside of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Part of it kind of like being able to do what you want, like control your own life, have that dream, and just make things.
Yeah, because there is a dream of mine, and the dream is, if I may be, the dream of mine is to one day hold my child and stand on a stage in front of thousands of people, and there's a jumbotron in the distance, and I get to point at me and my child's face on the jumbotron.
Like a Simba moment.
It's to some extent, yeah. And the reason why is because I want my child to know that like this at this moment, like this is my dream and it came true. I want to literally physically show my child that like dreams do come true. I don't want them to I want to be my child's inspiration to some extent. And that would be like the greatest moment, really.
Yeah, and like maybe turn it into like a family business. Is that like the ultimate goal?
No. Unfortunately, I am gonna live by this and die on this hill. Once I am gone, unfortunately, everything with me will kind of go at the same time.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Yeah, I kind of want to just already put that out here. Like that's how it's gonna be. Unfortunately.
Why do you want that? If you don't mind me asking.
Because I feel like so think of it, right? Think of it this way.
Sure.
Why is it that we have all these great original movies? These people die and then they let these people have their art and then they release a film and the film's terrible.
Oh, okay. So you just don't want like a terrible sequel.
No. Sorry.
No,
once it's over, the party's over, guys, unfortunately.
Interesting.
So once Garyn's gone, everything that I'm doing comes with me. Even, and don't worry about my family. So when people are like, how are you going to do that to your family? Don't worry about my family. You worry about your family.
Yeah,
You worry about your people. Because trust me, when I'm gone, all my friends and family and everyone who was a part of me are going to be well taken care of to where they're going to be able to just do their own thing.
Yeah,
and I'm going to be okay. But no more bad sequels and no bad reboots either.
But what if it's like a bad sequel, but then the trequel, the third one comes in?
No such thing.
No?
We're not even giving it that. We're not even letting it get to that point. Sorry. Nope. Once it's over, it's over.
I've only seen one good sequel, and it's Shrek 2.
Yeah.
You can't beat Shrek 2.
I mean, there is a good franchise out there, Aliens. Aliens,
okay.
Aliens is one of those rare moments where you have bad sequels met by a great reboot series.
Yeah.
So maybe I could change, that could change. But as of right now, that's why it's important to love people while they're here, appreciate things while they are existent. Don't let a good thing go that's in front of you right now, just because when opportunities come, yes, more opportunities will come. But if your gut is telling you that something is ready for you and you feel like you worked hard for it and that it's your time, take the leap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take the leap.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, just a quick question for my curiosity. As a videographer, what's your favorite like movie genre? What's your go-to?
So my favorite movie genre used to be horror growing up. But as I've gotten older, I can't really watch horror films because I live on my own and they scare me.
Fair enough.
They scare me really bad. And then plus like gore, I used to like gore, but now that I'm like older, I can't it's kind of squeamish. So I would say like right now, can I be honest with you? I'm really big into like the sci-fi, not horror, but that sci-fi that makes you think. That thriller, that thriller sci-fi.
No, I get that.
I'm trying to think. Like for an example, like I just watched the other day Ex Machina again.
Yeah.
I don't
know that I've seen that one.
That's good in its own way. That's basically a story of a dude who gets invited out to go look at artificial intelligence as it's being made, and then this kooky guy, he just has like artificial intelligence that is in women and whatnot, and then eventually they become self-aware, and you can put it, you can finish the story without giving spoilers, but it's an A24 joint. It's
A24 makes good.
A24
movies.
makes great films.
Yeah.
I think they know this, and they're starting to get lazy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that's a problem we see with a lot of things is once they start making a lot of money, they get like kind of a big head about it, think they're too big to fail, and they really start cutting corners.
Yep.
The
Marvel.
big one. Oh,
Sorry,
yeah, that's
Marvel.
exactly what I was going to bring
No,
up.
not to go on a tangent, but yeah, Marvel.
No, I completely agree. They lost me after Endgame.
Yep.
So I want to play some of these songs of these artists in a second, but before we do that, let's talk about them for a second. Who are some of these artists that are going to be part
shout
of
out to this
Catch a
lineup.
Vibe?
I'm gonna look at the live stream while I'm doing this because shout out to you guys. If you guys are not watching this, I want you to know how much you mean to me. I listen to your guys' music every day, and my goal is to make sure that you guys get your plays. The artists, this is not in order by any means. This is just the artists on the lineup. We got People in the Daytime out from Columbus. Shout out to those boys. We got my boy Frank Calzada and his boys pulling up. Shout out to them from Dayton. We got Melanie Marie. Shout out to her from Dayton. My boy Young No. We actually grew up in the Sandbox together from Springfield local. And then Faith and Failure. Faith and Failure is a band. They're kind of almost everywhere. But shout out to my boy Cole and Matt from Faith and Failure. Thank you to everyone who is pulling up to the event to perform. You guys are amazing. We love your music, and I know everyone else is going to love it too.
Yeah, absolutely. So without further ado, let's start out with some of these songs. Now, the first one we're going to be playing for you guys is Come Running for My Love by People in the Daytime. So we hope you guys enjoy this
Come
one.
running.
All right, and that one was Come Running for My Love. Next up, we've got Azul by Frank Calzada. All right. And that one was Frank Calzada with Azul. Now, if I remember correctly, I think I remember Frank being in a band called Weeds.
I believe
a few years back.
I believe he was. I believe he was.
I dropped my pen.
No, you're good. Is my mic on?
Yeah, you're. Yes. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay,
You're
I just
good.
want to make sure. All right, cool.
But I turned down the headphones a little bit.
Oh,
but
okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, I saw Frank perform in Weeds at the Bright Side a few years ago, if I remember right, and I really thought they were something. I was all about their stuff, and they were a lot heavier. They reminded me a little bit more of kind of like a metal, like psychedelic rock kind of thing. I really like this. It's very Santana psychedelic rock, fantastic guitar work. I'm really about that.
My boy plays the mean bongos too.
Oh,
he plays
was that
mean.
all him?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I really think that was everything. I think everything was him.
Wow,
And
that is incredible.
And what's great about him, and a lot of people don't know, is that I've had the pleasure of sitting down with Frank for breakfast, and I asked him how do you do it, and he showed me how he does it. He literally makes it right off his phone, like GarageBand app on your phone. I'm not saying he does that for every song, everybody. I'm just saying this was 2 years ago, Frank, and when this album came out about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, he was releasing this music, and he showed me oh yeah, I just plug in and I just take different parts from my different instruments, I record them, and he then just cuts it up on his phone and uploads it right from his phone. That's why being an artist nowadays is so cool, because there's just so many resources.
I agree. And honestly, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to go home and listen to probably the rest of that album.
As you should. As everyone
probably
should.
Both of those bands.
You
People in the
should.
daytime, I'm impressed.
Don't sleep.
Ohio, our area, we've got some really talented artists. We
Don't sleep.
really do.
Don't sleep.
Now, so we talked a little bit earlier about you doing a bit of a genre shift. From some of your previous work into what you're doing now. Do you want to touch a little bit on that?
Yeah. I feel like it's something that needs to be said. I'm trying to air out as many elephants, because there's a lot of elephants in this room. It's starting to get crowded, so I'm trying to get them out of here. So there is a big genre shift in what I'm doing, and it's just it's not like it's a permanent thing, but right now it is going to be a permanent thing. And the reason why is because it's all about how you want to be known, right? In your image. For so long, people used to preach to me, perspective is reality.
Yeah.
That's what people say. And as much as I hate that, because even though you don't know what's really going on, it's true though.
Yeah.
And that's basically how news corporations and they make their millions. So to answer the question, I was really big in the rap and hip hop and scene, and I decided that it's time to put the brakes on that because I can't get to where I need to be because it's actually hindering my process because of the image that it has. Does that make sense?
Elaborate more. Like, what do you mean by the image exactly?
So I'm not saying all rap is bad rap, but the rap that I was working with was glorifying drugs, violence, and a bunch of themes to where I don't really live like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's one thing to record it. It's one thing to listen to it and consume it, right, as like music, you know, and then watch it. But then when you're out there and you're with the people who are doing it and you're videoing it and you're creating content for them, you know, as a religious person, because I found God and whatnot, my purpose and my gifts were being used for the wrong reasons.
I respect that.
And I have to now do the right thing after learning a really hard lesson and do the right thing and work with an image and people who mean well.
Yeah.
So, for an example, I'm not saying that I don't like rap. I'm not saying that rap is bad. I'm saying that I actually did a lot for the rap scene, and in return, I didn't really get a whole lot out of it. Yeah. So what I'm doing is now I'm shifting genres to a music genre that I like. This is something I personally like, and I felt like I could not make money or do something with it to some extent. I felt like there wasn't a market for it. But when I took a step back and I started networking and meeting people, I realized I really actually like this music that's more safer to be around. Yeah. The crowd is not as rough, you know, the image is not as bad. People are most likely to put their, for an example, it's hard. Okay, let me put it this way, guys. Let me make it very simple to you. As a business, when you are looking for sponsorship, who are you going to give your money to, and who do you want your name and image to be a part of? Do you want your name and image to be a part of something that has guns and drugs involved? Or do you want your name and your image to be known with something that is uplifting, gives back to the community, and is inspirational and does not like glorify those themes? It's really an easy question.
Yeah.
It's really an easy question. It's really an easy solution here. So again, I'm not saying that there's not a place for it at G Visuals Media, but for the time being though, we're going to focus on music that is not going to bring in a rough crowd. We're going to focus on themes that are uplifting and more inspirational and calm, cool, and collect. And that's why I did the shift, because it's all about image. It's all how you want to be remembered. Garyn, when you die, do you want to be known as someone who used his talents to glorify rap and themes that were off-putting and hurt people? Or do you want to glorify, you know, creativity and the good in the world and uplift and use your talent to bring people together rather than divide?
Yeah.
That's what ultimately you have to decide. And I decided to go this route.
Yeah, I respect that. You know, I've kind of been like moving more towards this style of music too. Do you think we're just getting old? Do you think that's
not
it?
at all? And I thought it was that for a second. Not
that's
at all.
What I've been
not
thinking.
At all. Not at all. I think not at all. And you're about to get me on a tangent because I don't think it's about getting old. I think it's about growing up.
Oh, let's go on this.
I think it's about growing up.
Yeah.
I think it's about when you make art, right?
Yeah.
God gave you a gift to, whether it's to draw, write, create, no matter what. Like you have this gift. You could choose what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
You have all choice to do whatever you want, but at the same time, you cannot be mad if people don't want to consume or take in your art.
Yeah.
You can't be mad about it. If you want to rap about drugs and violence, you can't be mad if people don't want to listen to it. If you want to rap about coffee in the morning and lonely hearts and being broken up with, and people don't want to listen to it because it has a banjo with it, people don't want to listen to it. That's where opinion comes in, folks.
Yeah.
Free will. You can choose whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was on that same thing where I'm like, man, maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm just like not liking this. Because I used to be really into like more like heavier punk, heavy metal stuff like that. Now I'm like into like Pink Floyd and prog rock and Tool, and I'm like, man, I'm just getting old. I'm listening to dad music. No, I just like chilling at the end of the day.
Well, I'm finding love for 80s rock right now.
Oh,
I'm finding major
really?
like, bro, I can't tell you, like, For Whom the Bell Tolls as
great.
Even though that song is like obviously well known, it's very popular. When that song plays now, because I never really used to listen to it, that song gets me going. Like I work out to that song in the morning. I'll tell you right now, if you work out or you exercise, Put that song on in your ear.
Metallica.
Put Metallica on, and don't tell me that you just don't feel like a Greek god that just woke
Yeah.
up in the morning. And like, tell me right now, you just do not feel like a Greek god or goddess. Like, I'm telling you right now, you put on For Whom the Bell Tolls before you hit that rack, you're coming out swinging.
Oh, you're gonna get huge.
Yeah, you're gonna feel
Eat
great.
3 raw eggs.
It's like
listen to some Metallica. That's all you need.
Them literally, you don't need no crinitine now. You don't need none of that. You just need some Metallica.
Oh yeah, I do love Metallica.
They're great.
So, one other question I had about Catch a Vibe, arts and live music. Why a Masonic temple? That seems
Love
like
that
an
question.
interesting choice
Love that
of
question.
venue.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the greatest answer to that question.
Mm-hmm.
Creativity, everybody, and that's why I'm looking at the live stream. It's called creativity. So when you go to a venue, and and you're picking venues to work with, shout out to Arliss and all the Masons at the Springfield Masonic Temple. Shout out to them. If you have a wedding or anything you need a book, go book them at that venue. Tell them that Garyn sent you. Arliss is great. Show respect and you'll get respect. Now, to answer your question, the reason why I picked the Masonic Temple was because I'm not going to have an event where I can't have creative control over what happens at the venue.
Oh,
It'll never happen.
Okay.
It'll never happen. We'll never work together. If you don't give me full creative control over the venue, it'll never happen.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Because too many of these venues are like, oh, no, you can't do this. You can't do that. No. When I come to Arliss, he's like, oh, we'd love to have you. You
Yeah.
could do this. And if I ask for permission, he'll say yes. He'll say no. Keep it short. He's not going to make me wait days. I can call him anytime I want.
Mm-hmm.
He can call me anytime he wants. He's going to share my event. And he's going to respect me. He's going to respect my artists. These venues out here, these bars, these taverns, these pubs where my artists are performing or have been performing, what happens when you go to those venues, right? They tell you that they're performing. You go there to try to listen to them, and now their music is getting lost in the void because people come to a bar to get drunk, to hit on girls, to get hit on. They're not coming there for the music. Music is the byproduct. This is not Florida. This is Ohio. So when you go to Florida, it's casual. You'll go there and there'll be live music performing. That's something you can know. But see, there's not a place like that in Ohio. There's places got live music everywhere, but there's no places that are doing it the way I'm doing it. When you come to my venues to come to my shows, you are going to be captivated by not only the scenery I set up, but the stage design and presence, the fact that everything is kind of there for you to where you don't have to go and find it. It's an easy layout. It's an easy setup. We have the best hospitality service. That's another thing. I get to hire my own hospitality service. Because think about this. You hire a venue be like, oh, well, you got to use our people. Now my people are being rude to my patrons. I can't hold them accountable, but you know who I can hold accountable? The people that I put in their positions. The people I put in their positions. And you know what? They're going to have more respect for me and my patrons because I know them more personal. It all comes back down to keeping it in the circle, keeping it creative, keeping it fun, and keeping all the originality. That's why I had it at a Mason's temple, because the Masons are going to respect me, I'm going to respect them, and I'm going to bring people to the temple so that way they can see how beautiful this temple is. You know, this venue that we're hosting this, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the gentleman's name is Edgar Wright. He was the original architect of the venue. He is the same architect that created the Schuster Center. Not the Schuster Center, excuse me, the Schottenstein Center. The Schottenstein Center and the Boot. If you look up who is the architect of the Schottenstein Center and the Boot, which is the Ohio State's stadium, Ohio Buck Stadium, and you look up that gentleman, I believe his name is Edgar Wright, and he also drew up the floor plans and the architect for the Masonic Temple where we're going to be at.
Interesting. See, I didn't know that. And I've never been to the Masonic Temple before, but I mentioned it to somebody earlier, and they're like, yeah, it's a beautiful place.
It's huge.
So, and if I'm right, the Masonic Temple, while they do events there, that's not like their bread and butter, right? It's not like, and what I mean is it's not like as for-profit as maybe some of these other venues might be.
No, the Masons, the reason, you want to know why they have that is because someone got to pay the bill. They got to protect their temple. That's
Okay.
their temple. The temple
Yeah.
got a light bill, y'all. It has a mortgage to it. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? Like they own that building. They got to pay the leasing. They got to pay stuff on it. Even though that building was built and they're not necessarily got a mortgage on it. I shouldn't have said that, but they got like a
Taxes.
You know, they got taxes. You know,
utilities.
they got 6 floors in there. You would never think it.
They
They got
have 6
They got
floors?
like 5 to 6 floors in there. A whole bowling alley. They got a whole masonry like courthouse. Like they got a bunch of stuff in there. You would never. You gonna be on one floor of it, not even knowing that there's so many more floors to it, because you won't have access to them. You got to be a mason.
So, okay, so when you do the event, it won't be going over like all 6 floors.
No, the one
Okay.
this event is going to be in the main ballroom, which this ballroom it gets rented out for weddings. It gets
Yeah.
rented. So again, think about it. It's just business is all it
Yeah,
is. It's
absolutely.
masons. It's masons because see, when you pay them, not only are you paying like for the lights and you know the heating and all of that, they've been trying to restore it. People, they've been trying to restore it, but see, you can't see. But see, the thing is that. I don't want to get too deep, but there are people in Springfield, the city of Springfield, that have made it hard for people like them to get up because they're so busy trying to be this octopus and have their tentacles in every little building and resource there. So that way they can then push little guys like that out. But I'm here to tell you that like that's not going to happen to the that's not going to happen to the temple or the Masons. The Masons are the most friendliest people I know, and most of and here's the thing: you wouldn't even know you're talking to a Mason. Masons come in all shapes, sizes, and races. It's been the longest kind of like fraternity in a way, I guess you would say, or brotherhood. It's been the longest running brotherhood for a long time. I'm not a Mason, but if they were to make me one or allow me to become one, I would definitely become one. And it's a beautiful venue. I can't wait for people to come in and see how big it is. That's another thing too. You go into these pubs and these pubs and taverns and bars and whatnot. You're becoming a human sweatband. You're standing too close to people. Wouldn't you like to come to a concert for once and see that local band and not have to breathe the same air as somebody, but instead like take a breath and not be crunched, not have to squeeze by somebody, not have to worry about getting a beer spilled on you? See art, you're not coming to just the venue to see the artist. You're coming to see art. There's going to be there's going to be more than like 8 art vendors in the artist alley. There's going to be more than probably 10 vendors selling goods. And that's another thing about this space. This is why it was important. We needed this space for how many people are involved.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moving variables. So working at those small venues, it wasn't going to work.
Absolutely.
It just wasn't.
So when you look between like artists, musicians, just other personnel that you have involved, how many people are involved in this?
Right now, I was just doing this off the top of my head because again, as a show curator, you got to keep tabs on almost everybody. Just know that I'm working with the best team of like-minded individuals who are helping me put this together. So without them, there is no Catch a Vibe. So I'm very appreciative of everyone who's helping me. I would say with staff, personnel, artists, and everyone, there's going to be a little over probably like 40 plus people.
Okay.
Over 40 people. Like with staff, vendors, artists, musicians, people being hired to come work the show. Yeah. And there's going to be a lot of moving variables. I'm basically the GM for this night and this event of over like 50 different people.
Yeah. That's incredible. So what inspired you to do Catch a Vibe? What like kind of put this idea in your head for it?
Okay, so this is not my first time hosting an event. I've been hosting events since 2020. I had to take a 2-year hiatus to get my life back on track. I had a very serious medical emergency I had to take care of. We won't really go into detail about that, but just know I'm healed and I'm much better in a better place.
Glad to hear that.
Thank you. I had to move out of my brother's place. There's no shame in that. Live with your folks, people. I just want to say that. There's no shame in living with your folks because you got to save money. I was able to buy my own house and and get back on my feet. With all of that, I'll tell you exactly what inspired Catch a Vibe. The month is January in the year 2024, and my friend Matt, who I thought I was never going to see again, he ends up becoming the LG representative at for the stores that come and visit Best Buy and whatnot. He becomes an LG vendor. He steps back in the store and he says, "Man, we just had another show cancel on us." And I go, "You know what, Matt? I literally like this." While on the sales floor, I was like, "I'm gonna host you a show. I'm gonna get another show going." I'm that bored. Like I'm so bored. I haven't done a video. I was with this girl at the time, and I was just like, I'm kind of bored. I got comfortable. I got in a relationship. I got bored, and then relationship ended, and I was just like, man, I'm so bored. Like, I got too comfortable. I need to do something. So I told my boy Matt, I was like, I'm gonna host you a show. And he was like, okay, bet. So you know what I did? As soon as he said that, I walked away from him. I went into the break room and I called Arliss at the Masonic Center and I said, hey, do you have April 26th available? And he said, yes. And I was like, okay, put it down. And then I called, the next person I called was Champagne. She's my caretaker, my drink caretaker is the best way to classify that. And she said, yeah, I'm available. April 26th, booked her. I then went back to the sales floor and I talked to Matt and I was like, you available April 26th? He said, yes. And I was like, all right, bet. I just booked you a show. It was literally like that.
And Matt, is he one of the musicians?
He's the lead bass in Faith and Failure.
Okay.
The GOAT.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be hearing him in a second.
Yeah, in just a second. And so all the other artists who are involved, did you just know them or did you reach out to them?
I've been wanting to have Frank at a show for a long time, and Frank can attest to this. After my accident in 21, I had reached out to Frank in March and said, hey, I want to throw a show, but guys, medical bills are expensive.
Yeah.
And so I got broke real quick, and I did not message Frank. And unfortunately, I'm so grateful for Frank because I kind of left him on red, unfortunately, for a whole year. A whole year on accident. It wasn't even intentional. And then as for Young No, he was kind of last minute, but he's always been a big supporter. And then Melina Marie, I saw a post about her winning Battle of the Bands week 3.
Was that at the Bright Side?
That was at the Bright Side.
I like the Bright Side.
Yeah, Bright Side's really nice. Shout out to them. I hope to maybe one day get a show at the Bright Side. As long as they let me be creative and keep creative freedom, will always work. And then people in the daytime. How did I get them? Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm following this girl on Instagram, and I'm just going through my stories, and I see that she posts this band that's performing, and she out and about. So I basically click on the band name because she tagged them, and I clicked on them, and I'm like, let me listen to them, right? Because I'm trying to find a headliner. I gotta find that sound that is headliner sound. Not to say that like the people on my roster are not headline sound. They are amazing sounds, and I would want them to headline a show Sunday. So I don't want it to come off like that. But I needed something that was like, boom, right? That's just kind of like, trying to kind of like capsules, like, or I guess I'm trying to find the word, like the whole show in its essence. Yeah. I listened to people in the daytime, and I kid you not, my ears started doing that thing. And you know what I'm talking about when it's like, this should be on the radio. Yeah. This should be on a playlist. Like, you listen to them and you automatically think that they're a big band. Yeah. That's the kind of vibe they give you based off of their level of production and who they are and the style they come in with. And so with that being said, I took a shot in the dark and I DM'd first and then I emailed and I didn't hear back from them. And then I heard back from their manager and they said, yeah. They're on tour. They're getting ready to rest. Let's reach out. We'll reach out back to you by the end of the month or something like that. And I already took that as like they're going to be like they too busy or they're going to want some obscene amount of money. Like they just, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to expect. They hit me back up and they literally say one of the words I can't say on the radio station, we're in. they say we're in. We love the idea. We love how much thought and promotion you're trying to put behind it. We're in. We're going to be resting up in that time. So I think they just got off tour. So I hope my show is the first show that they do when coming back.
That'd be really cool.
That would be that would be an honor. That would be an honor. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and play a few more songs for you guys so you can check that out. The first one we have is Oma?
I believe it's called Oma. That is Faith and Failure's band. Yes. Let's go.
And after that, we've got Young No with Tennessee Whiskey.
Country.
So we hope you guys enjoy these.
Bewitched men, cursed and plagued, the great old man, kings reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. Same old places. Found the bottom of the bottle, always dry. But when you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love that gets me out. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And honey, I stay strong on your love all the time.
All right, and that was Young No with Tennessee Whiskey. What a cover. That was incredible. I was very impressed by that.
My boy, no.
So, we've got time for about one more question, then we'll go into some plugs. So, what do you want guests to know about Catch a Vibe?
The one thing I want everyone to take away from this is that this is going to be that show. If this is not your, make it this way. I want this to be a lot of people's first concert. Let this be your first concert, and if this is not your first concert, come with the expectation of, how you've spent hundreds of dollars on those big name artists. You're gonna get that level of experience for a fraction of the price, and you're gonna get so much more with that. You're going to be able to have a more intimate experience with everyone around you. You're going to feel more connected with the artists themselves. You're going to become fans of people that you've actually been able to be in the same room with and talk to before they get to that level. Not only that, but you are also being a part of a cultural change in the creative space and everywhere around. You're not only supporting me, but you're supporting all the hardworking staff members that are coming to. You're supporting the vendors. You're supporting the artists that drew and draw their love and their passion out on the canvas every day. You're supporting a masonry temple that's been around for hundreds of years and it's going to be around a lot longer than you. You are supporting way more than just $10 for a promoter to get in through the door.
Absolutely. And if you are one of our listeners who has never had the opportunity to go out and see a local show, local artists, you are missing out. You will not be disappointed. Now, what do you kind of want to see from your future, the expansion of your brand and things like that?
I want to be able to give back a lot.
Yeah.
They say Dave Ramsey and a lot of people, they say, the person who gives back the most is the wealthiest person in the room. So I want to be the person to hopefully expand it so big that we've been able to, in 5 years, my goal is to give out 100 cameras in 5 years,
cool.
to give back 100 cameras. The reason why is because this is going to be, we're hosting 3 shows this year, best way to explain it. So we're already going to start our expansion. By your support at this show will allow us to host 2 more shows this year, because it's 3 shows every year is the goal. And not only that, but with the shows getting better, we're going to be able to get, artists on a bigger platform, on a bigger stage. And also we're going to be able to give back, because I'm starting a foundation later this year that we're going to start with students that are going into film programs. We're going to give them a camera. So when they go off in the world, they can continue to strive for greatness through visual storytelling. My expansion is to get people paid, give artists a platform, let people do what they do best at and shine in the avenue that they want to help out in, create brand awareness and bring communities together and give back to a community. That's what we want to do.
That's really cool. I respect that a lot, man. So, of course, we got to end with our plugs. Where can people find you?
You can find me on IG. I'm really big on IG or anything that is meta. So that's like Facebook, Twitter, and so forth. You can find me at Garyn Kid. That's GARYN.KIDD. I'm the one feeding flamingos in all the pictures. So that's Garyn Kid. If you want to follow the event page and don't want to follow me because I talk too much, you can follow at GVM Events. That's at GVM on all major platforms. Again, a special thank you to all the headliners, all the volunteers, all the vendors, all the art exhibitors, the Masons at the Springfield Masonic Temple. Shout out to WWSU 106.9 and my boy Jedd, everyone putting this together. Thank you to all the friends and family that are going to come out and support us as well. And shout out to the community of Springfield City and Dayton City. And thank you so much for giving us a platform today. I appreciate everyone.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. And for all of our listeners, in these upcoming weeks, we're going to have more of these artists coming onto our platform, doing interviews, letting you guys hear more of their music. It's going to be great, so please stay tuned for that. But unfortunately, we are out of time for this afternoon. But thank you all so much for listening today. Look up Catch a Vibe, get your tickets. April 26th.
Doors open at 7. This is the last thing I want to say. Please have your ID. We will be checking IDs at the door. Please buy online so that way I can make you your custom lanyard. You save money and you help us out at the door by getting everyone in safety, because we will be taking safety precautions at the highest measures. So come with only concert essentials, and parking is free and accessible. Woo! Let's go. Free parking.
We love free parking. That's the worst part about
parking.
A lot of concerts. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening today. I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Thank you, Garyn, for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. God bless.
And you guys all have a great rest of your day.
Hey, you're listening to WWSU 106.9 FM, Fairborn, Dayton, Dayton's right choice.
Hey everybody, this is Chaz Taylor at WWSU 106.9 FM. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WWSU 1069. And send us your requests at 937-775-5555.
Give me your